Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, and I would like to welcome you to the other side of midnight, Christmas 2023 edition. Already in the chat, some guy named Deleted Scenes. Wrenches, keep an eye on this guy. He seems dangerous. Keeps saying Merry Christmas to everybody, and that's screwy behavior, and we can't have that. We have Last Call, Troy Pacelli, host of Western Cinema Presents Jedi Bill. Netters Network. Jesse Guajardo, friend of the channel. Sashi is with us. Good afternoon from the other side of the world. Indeed. Big Out presents. All right, as promised, I have some guests backstage. And I am going to bring them on. Ladies first, Sin's Corner.
Hey, how you doing?
Last Call with Troy Pacelli, and with him, Netters Network.
Hello, hello.
And Big Al presents. The show tonight is being simulcast on Sin's channel as well as Big Al's.
I gotta tell you,
go over and...
Deleted Scenes, I'm sitting here in the green room waiting for you to go live, and all of a sudden my phone blew up. And I'm like, why is everyone going live? What's going on? And then I look at my phone. Sin's Corner, Big Al, Deleted Scenes, all went live at the same time.
It's good to know the notifications do work.
It worked!
Yes, sometimes they don't.
Davina Drew, good to see you, sir.
Drew.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah,
All right.
I've never tried the simulcast thing. That's
So
pretty cool.
You got it set up then.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
Cool.
I'm the slow one. I'll do it some other time.
All right.
Sin,
Well, that's the show. Thank you all for coming.
Take care, everyone, and Merry Christmas.
It worked.
Sin, I gotta ask, is there a story behind how you got a hold of that Turbo Man doll? And if not, can you make one up? Like, did you have to fight through the mall for it or something?
There he is. So it's not super exciting. My daughter's boyfriend is Puerto Rican, and when he moved here to live with us last summer, he brought that for me from Puerto Rico.
See, you could have spiced that up and said you had to fight your way through a crowd beat down an Austrian bodybuilder to get that figure.
So cool, right? Do you know what the problem is? I'm not super creative, so that's also I'm not a good liar. So
okay.
I don't think I would have been very convincing.
It's not lying; it's telling a good story.
Right? Yes, I know, and I don't think quickly on my feet like that.
Fair enough.
I was just telling the truth. Anyway, he's all the way from Puerto Rico.
I do find it interesting, though, that he's on the one side of your head and then Arnold Schwarzenegger's on the other side of your head.
Yeah, the Terminator. And eventually I'm going to put a sound panel up behind me that's got the Terminator backdrop that I use in my my review videos, my videos on YouTube. Yeah, I love Terminator. Cool. Terminator 2, favorite movie of all time. So yeah, I've definitely got, my cousin gave me that poster there.
Are we good with the Sarah Connor Chronicles, or is that
Oh, that was so good.
Right?
Did you watch that?
Yes, I
was
did.
so surprised at how good that was. I
so
loved it.
disappointed that they just left us hanging there?
I know.
Yeah.
I hated that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's
Well, it
like
was on Fox. They like to do stuff like
Yes, you're absolutely right.
at least
That's
we got
the
2
problem.
seasons though.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It was good. I honestly
It was
did
better
not
than
think
most of
I-
the movies that came out after the
Yeah,
second movie.
It was definitely better than pretty much all the movies that came out after
Yeah,
the second
yeah,
movie. I mean,
yeah,
I
you're
like
kinda
Salvation.
right.
Okay, I'm that's grown on me, but yeah, I didn't think
I
I
like
would like it.
Salvation too.
Yeah, it's because
Yeah.
it's like a whole other different type of like you can't. I mean, you can compare it to the others because it's in a different environment, but that part took a bit to grow on me, and now it has. So I think it fits pretty well. Oh right, I know.
I do feel like there's some fan edits to be done of some of those movies. You know,
Yeah,
I've seen
could
some
be.
great fan edits of a lot of movies that weren't so good, but you trim out a little bit, maybe
Yeah.
put in a restored scene or whatever, and sometimes it makes all the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I could go on and on about Terminator. I will stop. I will stop.
Oh,
that. I still remember
well,
seeing
what
it a day
have
way
to
back
do, like-
in the early 80s
Yeah.
in the movie theater. Oh, what a great day.
I wish
that
I could
was.
see I wish I could have seen the first one on the big screen. I never have seen that one on the big screen. Hate that. Sorry, deleted it. And we
No,
interrupted
no,
you.
that's
What were you
fine.
saying?
No, that's fine. We'll
Yeah,
have to do
no,
a
we just took
Terminator
over the
2.
show. That's it. It's no longer the deleted scene show.
Oh no,
It's been a mutiny.
that's too far.
Okay.
There
Wouldn't
won't
be
be
the
no
first time.
mutiny. Got to experience National Lampoon's Christmas. I guess Christmas Vacation. He means this year, where everything either goes wrong, or I got hurt trying to decorate the house. Ouch.
Fair enough.
Emotionally unstable amphibian. Good to see you. Merry Christmas.
That's a great name.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Don't everybody talk at once.
I was
Just-
waiting for someone to say
just-
something.
Jesse just said, I got to experience National Lampoon's Christmas this year, where everything either goes wrong or it. Yeah, okay, so you had just read that comment. I did not realize that Jesse had not seen.
No, he got hurt this year. He's
Oh,
he's having a bad.
I see. I
He
misunderstood. I
lived through his
misunderstood.
own version of it. Yeah.
Everyone has. That's what makes the movie so great.
Although it is amazing, you do say that of things that people haven't seen that you'll find on YouTube, like first time viewing.
Yeah.
There's this couple that do reactions, and they did a first time watch of the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
Oh, wow.
Can you
Interesting.
imagine like never having seen that?
I might not have ever seen that, to be honest.
There was a couple people on Netter's in Netter's Peanut Gallery on Thursday who hadn't seen it, and we were a little surprised. But when you start thinking about it, you realize there's a generational issue there, right?
True.
All of us that grew up in the 70s absolutely remember it, but late 80s, early 90s kids, maybe not.
I thought they still play that on TV. Do they not? Of course,
They
TV
don't
doesn't-
anymore.
Now Apple TV
Yeah,
has
Apple
Charlie Brown. in it.
Apple iPaywall has taken all of them and hidden
Was-
them. So
Was Rudolph on this year? I know it was on like Freeform, but was it on regular network television?
I don't know.
Regular?
I don't watch network.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
watch network.
I know. I
either.
think AMC had it.
It used to always be on the first Monday after Thanksgiving on CBS, 8:00. That was it was like set in stone every year, and I don't believe the last few years they've done that. It's
Probably
infuriating.
not.
Although I do know ABC had Santa Claus is Coming to Town a couple times this year, so that's good.
I'll tell you what. I've had a really hard time with Rudolph watching it ever since I saw Silence of the Lambs. I mean, having a girlfriend named Clarice, it kind of ruins it for me.
No, I always feel bad for the abominable snowman when he gets his teeth pulled.
Oh,
Like,
the Bumble, yeah.
oh,
He's a humble Bumble.
Bumble's bounce.
Because Bumbles bounce.
yeah, you just made him just eat oatmeal for the rest of his life.
Well,
Jesse
I mean, it was either that or, something more drastic. It kind of was self-defense. He was going to eat them.
Hey, Rudolph had horns. He had
Well, that's
that.
true. 90s kid, I watched Charlie Brown special on CBS Cartoon Network. There you go. Yeah, like I said, until very recently. It was within the past, 5-6 years that they took it and they put it out on the paywall. That's why I say own physical media, everybody, because then they can never take it away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as long as Hallmark still streams for like 3 months Christmas movies, I'm okay.
What 3 months? You're talking about it in June and July, dude.
Well, but it's this time of year when it's on 24/7.
I don't begrudge it, but it's not like it's that.
I think there is money to be made in a 24/7, 365 Hallmark Channel Christmas. Like they have movies and mysteries.
I agree with you 100%.
They could have shows talk, about decoration.
I agree.
It would work. I would buy that specifically just to have that network.
Uh-oh, everybody on your best behavior. Jedi Bill's here.
Hello, Bill.
Heyo. How's it going?
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Is it 98 or 99? Okay, thanks, Jesse.
I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did, with its religious
I know.
messaging, that
I know.
It's like, oh, God forbid. Ooh, I said God. Ooh, no,
Yeah.
can't
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I'll tell you what, great memories. It wouldn't be I was just saying it the other day, it wouldn't be the holidays without Vince Guaraldi. Linus and Lucy is not immediately what you think of as a Christmas tune, but it became that,
I will say I was chatting with Soundtracks with Birdman the other day, and he sent me, because he loves the singer Mary Fall, and he sent a version of her singing "The Christmas Time Is Here."
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, that was so beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still suffering. Poor guy.
I hear you.
Yeah, is it this year? It seemed like everybody's been kind of under the weather here, like the last 4 or 5 months.
Well, it is that time of year.
Obviously, Netter has. Soundtracks with Birdman has. Troy's been ill. I've got something going on that's not like stopping me from like going on with life or anything, but I've just had this weird stuff going on. But I because there's been this weird kind of stomach bug going around too, and I think I got a touch of it, and but hey, I'm up and around. Yeah.
I would.
We're all dying, basically.
Well, I was going to say, I made it. Well, Netter and I both made it for 4 years without getting sick at all. So I said, when we got hit hard.
Yeah, once it got in there, it incubated between the two of you.
That's about it. I held out as long as I could because she did get sick before I did. But boy, it hit me a lot harder and a lot faster.
Yeah, but I got sick because my stress level went through the roof and my immune system.
That's all it takes. Your immune system drops briefly and you are just nailed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's why good health is important. Trying to build healthy habits like good eating, exercise, plenty of sleep, things like that.
Or they're that famous one they always tell me, drink a lot of water.
I'll tell you what, when you're sick, if you keep that bottle of water near you and every time you wake up you take a few sips, you stave off that headache that you usually get. Because what happens, you stay in bed for 12 hours, you don't drink, you get a headache.
Yeah, when you also face dehydration too, which
Exactly.
makes everything
Yeah.
worse.
I always keep something by. I mean, it'll be water, but
Oh, yeah.
tea or Diet Mountain Dew or Mountain Lion, depending.
Dark.
Life is
Sasha.
That's
supposed
true.
Also kind of true.
Yeah, you know what? My,
I
my
mean-
son has said this. Like from the moment you're born, you
Merry
are.
Christmas,
you're
everybody.
already-
I mean,
you're-
that is
You're starting
true.
the process of dying.
That
which is
really is
depressing to
true.
think
Nobody
about.
lives forever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't
We
take
each
life
show
too
a death.
seriously.
Thank you and good night.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
Um,
every time I think about that, I always think about on Golden Pond and the mindset of Henry Fonda's character in there.
Mhm.
And they always say, it's like, you've been like obsessed with dying ever since you were a young man. That's a good one. I might have to put that on a rewatch one night.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
You never saw it on Golden Pond? Oh, wow.
Long time ago.
I like that because I like a good
I saw it years ago.
I like
yeah,
it.
never
I
saw
like-
it.
I like good acting movies
Mhm.
where you watch actors at their craft. I mean, you have Henry Fonda and Katharine Hepburn. I mean,
Just
it's like
kind of.
I've got a whole new respect for Zac Efron after seeing The Iron
Oh,
Claw.
I haven't seen that yet, but I've really heard about. I don't know if I can handle the emotion that I feel like. Is
Oh,
gonna come
it's
with that.
crushing.
Oh gosh.
It's the Von Erich. Oh, I knew the Von Erichs growing up because I was a wrestling fan. You know, my
I've never
grandfather
heard.
and
I don't think I've ever heard of them before.
Yeah, they were just a great family of wrestlers, and then they always talked about the Von Erich curse because the father did a Nazi persona when he was wrestling, and then it said that it just kind of took over the family, and they kind of put that in there. But it's a really great film, but it is not a happy film.
I've heard I've heard it's good. I have to be in the right mood to put myself in that sort of. But I mean, I was sent screeners for it before it came out, and that's just been one. I'm just like, I don't know. I watched Society of the Snow last night, and that was.
I haven't heard of that one.
That was intense. It's coming out on Netflix in early January, and it's based on that true story that I'm sure you guys have all heard about, the crash in the Andes of the rugby team in 1972.
Oh,
and
yeah, the soccer team.
they had to eat the
Yep.
bodies of the people that had died to survive, and so this one is it's got Uruguayan actors in it. It's in Spanish, so I guess feels maybe, I don't know, a little bit more authentic than the 1993 one, which was English and Hollywood and all that. But yeah, it was
Is
good.
it
Just really
subtitles? Or
Yeah, it's got subtitles.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
of course, if you understand Spanish, then that makes it easier too. But yeah, I watched it with my husband because he's Mexican, and he was complaining the whole time. He's like, "Why didn't they just leave earlier and try to go find help?" Well, hindsight, I guess, is 2020. They were expecting they were going to be saved, and then eventually, when they realized that was not happening, that was the only other option they had left. People had to go. They had to strike out to try to find civilization.
yeah, they did another. What's it? I think it's called Alive.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
1993
Yeah, that's the
one I
one
was
from-
referring
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But they had done a Spanish language one in the 70s, which my husband had seen when he was a kid, and then Alive, and then this, and it's just.
It's not for a while there. They loved anytime a plane crashed or there was some kind of national tragedy. There was a film about it. I mean, the baby Jessica story and there was an
Mm-hmm.
Iowa crash, and I remember the Potomac one because I live in Maryland, so I
Yeah.
Remember the one about when the like the Hawaiian was? I
yeah
think it was where
or
it got ripped, part of the
oh
plane
yeah
ripped open
yeah
and people were stuck. Oh, and I hate to fly, so
because like it was like
those
half of the
movies.
roof was off of the front
Yeah,
part of
and
the
some
plane,
people
Oh
got
yeah,
dried
yeah,
out. Oh,
but they got it down though.
they did, but
That was amazing.
it's horrific.
yeah, yeah. That was a pretty decent movie too. Um, the one that I remember, and I remember it for the fact that they got it factually totally wrong, which amazes me because it was something that was all over the news. Was the movie where the about the miners
Oh yeah.
that got trapped and
Oh,
digging
they
them
got.
out and the whole
I
thing.
haven't seen that movie, but so
And
what did they get wrong about it?
they got pretty much most of it wrong, which was weird.
Oh,
They like did this kind of it was this weird kind of anti-corporate, oh, the company's going to leave us down here to die thing,
Oh,
and
I saw that. Yeah, I
it
think I know what
was
you're talking about.
yeah, and they had when they had to go onto this guy's property to find a way to dig in and and get the miners out. In real life, this guy was like, "Look, dig up my whole property, do whatever you have to do. What do you need from me to help you get this done faster? I'll go and make food for the men's, and so you can go and do this in
Yeah.
shifts. You can sleep inside my house." In the movie, he's sitting up on his porch in a rocking chair with a shotgun, keeping everybody at bay. You know, and I'm like, "Don't come near me." You know, I'm like,
Pump up
And-
the dramatic narrative.
"What?" You
And
know?
see, this is exactly what I talk about when I get so upset about not getting historical stories correct, because those are real people you are depicting, and you have an obligation to them and their families to portray them accurately.
That's why I took my rating for Iron Claw. I took a star off because there was some historical things that because I knew
Yeah.
because being
What were
being a
they?
fan.
In case
They
I see it, so I
they
prepare.
eliminated a brother.
Oh, okay.
There was a younger brother and they kind of combined two of the brothers into the one brother, and some of the timing was a little wonky,
Okay.
and like they had someone playing Ric Flair, but it kind of came off a little parody as opposed to
Yeah,
but Ric, you cannot you got to get the right guy to play
Ric
Ric.
Flair
Yup.
feels like a parody, though.
Yeah,
True.
To begin
True.
with.
and see that's the thing is you've got to find that balance,
Yeah.
and it just you got to get the right personality. I just don't think it was the right actor. I don't. Well, like, it's tough to do that, but the core actors that they had in it, Efron and the guy who plays the bear, they were fabulous in this film. Lily James is in it.
Okay.
and hello to DJ Ronnie G.
Yep. Good to see you.
0080 is awesome, but super heartbreaking. I'm not sure I know what that is.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that one.
They're all written. Okay. But yeah, true story. I've actually met Ric Flair,
Wow.
Oh, cool.
and he was doing an autograph signing during one of his retirement tours, and this is back when I used to work at Walmart, and he did this autograph signing, and that was and right when he was there, that when I was standing in line, in fact, that is when we found out both Michael Jackson and Farrah Fawcett had passed.
Oh,
Oh.
2009. Right,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
both died the same day.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's how
I was
remember.
I was Mick Foley's bodyguard at a book signing when I worked with Borders,
Oh, nice.
and so I got to basically hang with him and got to sit and talk with him. What a great guy! Just a nice guy. Bigger than you would think, too. All those wrestlers are, um, but got to meet Stone Cold. That was pretty cool.
Ronnie G is saying it's Gundam is what he's talking about. It's a 6-episode Gundam miniseries. Right on.
Did not know that, Sashi. That's interesting. Thanks for
Yeah,
pointing
okay.
that out.
General in charge of the Somali operation wrote an apology letter when Black Hawk Down came out because the Malaysian armed forces were left out of the movie.
And he also,
Yeah,
he
one
says there was
of
a
them did
Malaysian.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was another American that died like a couple of days later in a mortar attack, and he's cut completely out of the movie. But the trouble there, and I know a little bit of the backstory to this, is the fact that there were so many boots on the ground, so to speak, on the day, and everybody had a story, which is why I always say when it comes to Black Hawk Down, you can like the movie, but read the book.
Yeah.
Because the book goes into all the detail that the movie had to compress so much
this
down
does happen a lot
and combine characters. You know, Ewan McGregor's character is based on like 2 or 3 different guys. So's Josh Hartnett. Eric Bana's character is a combination of multiple people. You know, and you know, everything that the movie depicts more or less happened that way, but it just like happened to different people. You know, and you know, it's, you know, you could almost make a mini series of that story.
Oh, I bet.
But you know,
Maybe
you know,
that's
you
what
got
they should have done, like HBO or something.
Maybe.
You know, they've done the Pacific and Band of Brothers.
I was just thinking Band of Brothers, exactly, right?
Yeah.
We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. Being there so vile, the stage shall gentlest. Sorry.
You know, but no, that's fine. You know, but Sashi's right. You know, the Malaysians figured in a lot more to the Mogadishu incident than the movie depicts. Certainly, just like in Argo. You know, Argo pretty much leaves the Canadians out of it, even though they pretty much pulled off the whole thing. Really, with this CIA man.
Yeah, I talked with Pops on his channel when we were talking about that. Yeah.
Never saw that. I haven't seen Black Hawk Down either. I need to watch those.
It's good.
It is. I know because, well, I mean, obviously we all know it's Ridley Scott. There's always multiple edits, you know. There's a longer version of Black Hawk Down. I'm not sure I've even seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
That's like a near 3-hour cut of it. But yeah. But I got to tell you, and I don't want to go too deep into this, but you know, it's seeing everybody's reaction to Rebel Moon, because that was supposed to be a much longer R-rated film, and now we're getting this basically 2 1/4 PG-13 version, and I'm starting to see, based on certain people's reactions to Zack Snyder, I'm starting, and hello Dulcimeris. I'm starting to understand people's complaints about Ridley Scott. Because they're kind of the same. they're very good. I'll just say it. They're good cinematographers, but they don't know how to tell a proper story.
I agree, 100%.
I
think I've been saying that a long time about Zack Snyder, that he is excellent if he has a single story that is written by someone else that's already storyboarded for him. He can take that and translate that as a visual storyteller. That's why I did like Watchmen, and I did like The 300. But he was literally taking a graphic novel, treating it as though this was the storyboard, and turning it into a film. When you give him anything else that requires editing, whittling down, whatever, he's like a bull in a china shop,
And boy, does he love his slow-mo.
He does.
He's a one-trick pony in that regard.
Oh my!
Yes,
I was watching Rebel Moon. I'm like, man, this would have been a shorter movie if they just had everything at normal speed.
And honestly, the other thing that kind of bothers me a little bit, I tend to drown it out, but it I think it says something when you see how rabid his small fan group is. These Snyder cultists online that think he's the greatest thing ever. It's like, guys, you really need to get together and go buy more tickets to his movies and whatever, because the fact is, when things don't do well, studios tend to go, okay, well, I guess we're not going to be making any more of these movies.
Okay, I'm still wondering the effect that Aquaman's going to have on anything comic book, because oh my lord, that movie was.
When I heard your review on that, Big Al, I was like,
I mean,
wow.
And the biggest thing was Momoa himself. And I could not think of a better word than buffoonery.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
He acts like he is a just big excuse the word, dumbass. And I was just like, seriously?
And Al, I always say you find the positive in everything. And when I heard your review on this, I was like, wow, that's for Al? Wow.
Man.
Wilson's watchable. That was my positive.
Yeah.
I like Patrick.
Well,
I didn't want to rip my eyes out.
Patrick Wilson would have been a great Aquaman.
He would.
Because when he had the short blonde hair, and I'm like, that's Aquaman.
Yeah.
That would also be more true to the way Aquaman.
Agreed. Absolutely.
And he has more of a regal, noble thing. Even his character was even talking about how he did some dumb things in the first film. I assume I still haven't seen the first one, but he has a more noble presence, where Jason Momoa is just sitting around drinking beer and
being Jason Momoa,
riding his motorcycle, and I'm Aquaman. Woo!
You know what? Everyone keeps saying he would make a great Lobo, and it's true. He has played that character like Lobo. He has not once played Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
And Sashi's question in the chat is Rebel Moon a remake of Battle Beyond the Stars?
That's what Al said.
Pretty close.
Everybody has said
Al said.
Oh, dang.
Not really, but there are aspects of it. I was like, man, that's reminds me of Battle.
It's very correlational because it was meant to be a Star Wars project that Lucasfilm didn't pick up.
And I could see that too. I was like, this would be a halfway decent, the D word, Star Wars film. Of course, with changing the aesthetic and a few things and just making it a different time.
Yeah. But I think that says something. When Disney is not willing to pick it up, how bad does it have to be?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not bad. Like that. It's visually very, very good. I love the visuals of it, but like I said, the storyline is just, there's aspects of Star Wars, Battling of the Stars, which was the one that shocked me the most. Hunger Games, because it's the girl on fire. And Child of Fire, or whatever it is. I mean, there's just little bits and pieces of other movies in it.
Well, one of you, and I hadn't heard that before tonight, had mentioned that it was supposed to be like R-rated and longer or something like that. And I'm thinking, based on the review I heard on from Big Al on this thing, I'm like, is that really all Zack Snyder is? Is he just edgelord nihilism? Is that all that he's able to do?
Well, they had the one scene that was the soldiers were trying to sexually assault one of the village girls.
I'm getting tired of the grimdark. I really am.
That's of course when the super female kicks into to play and shows that she is an awesome fighter.
Wow, that Through the Lens just said constant exposition, dialogue written by a preschooler. Pretty much, yeah.
So my question is, I asked him in the chat here, is it as bad as Army of the Dead? Because I hated that movie.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
It was such crap. I mean, it literally made me angry. We went to go see it.
I'm glad I didn't see it now.
It was to me, it was absolutely terrible.
Is that the one with Batista in Vegas?
Yes, and it was so bad. Like it held up okay, like maybe halfway through, but then it just started to tank for me. Now I love the Snyder Cut. I absolutely love that movie. So I know he's got the talent, but I was looking forward to Rebel Moon, and now I've been hearing all this terrible. So I'm
like I said,
dreading.
I gave it 2.5 out of 5, which for me,
yikes, that's bad though.
Not in my realm. For me, I will say, if you want to watch it at 2.5. It's like a very low recommend.
So there's already talk about a Snyder Cut of this, and that is supposed to be released in 2024.
Well, they got part 2 coming in. Was it April, I believe? Scar Giver.
If there's going to be an actual Snyder Cut of Rebel Moon, I might wait for that. But I don't get this stuff. I don't understand.
Might be worth waiting to see how the second one plays out and just kind of do a.
I wish I could forget about Army of the Dead, Sashi. I wish.
I saw Army of the Dead, and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I know Batista was in it, and I know there was some guy who opened the
last act,
state.
the one.
I cannot remember anything about it, really.
I did not think I would be asking this question in a Christmas live stream, but anyone got a good zombie recommendation? Zombie film?
The episodes in What If, season 1 of What If.
Oh, like the Marvel Zombies?
I just binged What If, you guys. I'd never seen it because I got a link to the entire second season. And so I decided maybe I should watch What If. I've heard it's good. You guys, it's so good.
I'll have to check that out.
It reminds me of what the excellence that Marvel used to be. The writing, oh my God, I loved it so much. I loved it more than probably most of the films that we have gotten since Endgame.
I mean, I guess we could combine, zombies and Christmas and say, what's the name of that movie? Anna and the Apocalypse?
Okay.
I found, I haven't watched it. I downloaded it because I could not resist the title. It's called Santa Stein.
Santa Stein. That sounds good.
You know me and a good title. Bad CGI shark, Ouija shark.
Yeah.
1 and 2. But yeah, I haven't watched it. No, I've already got one. I'm going to watch sometime tomorrow. It took place. It came out late this year. It's a Journey to Bethlehem, and it's a musical with Antonio Banderas playing Herod.
Okay.
And I had it in my downloads.
Yes.
Let me
it
make sure.
is.
Yeah, Journey to Bethlehem. And I was like, well, let's see what this is about. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, it looks like a Disney version of Journey to Bethlehem. And then suddenly there's a song, there's a musical number, and I'm like, oh, I've got to watch this tomorrow, just like beginning to end, because it actually, I was like, I got to see how they do this. But
It's a good one, Sashi. They
Marvel
actually
actually
can.
tried to do
They can. They did it with What If. That was solid.
I've been liking Marvel's their streaming more than probably most people.
Really?
I haven't seen. It's been hit and miss, but
Yeah.
it's been more hit for me. Hit being very general term, as far as not wanting to retch and commit. What's the thing when you take it and you like cut your own intestines out? Seppuku.
Harakiri, seppuku, yeah.
Harakiri.
But yeah, like Hawkeye. I liked Hawkeye. I mean, I know a lot of people. I liked Hawkeye. I thought it was kind of.
I wanted
kind
to,
of
but
fun.
oh my gosh.
I don't know. I kind of
That
enjoyed
chick
it.
was annoying as hell to me. I could not stand her. And what they did to Kingpin, are you kidding me? They turned him into an absolute buffoon, and like they just neutered him or something. He was freaking scary in Daredevil, and this one he was just comical.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
he
was
so
so
good, Daredevil.
disrespectful.
Well, they had already eviscerated Daredevil in She-Hulk, so I mean, you know.
Man,
I
dude,
heard.
walk
I
that
never
shame.
watched that. Ugh.
I do want to say that I know She-Hulk was kind of a train wreck in many ways, but there were aspects of it I actually enjoyed.
It's another. It sounds like another one of those. Like I was saying earlier, you'd be better off doing a fan edit of it.
It's like it's like bad CGI shark.
Ouija shark. It's like-
Bad CGI lawyer.
I have to see this Ouija shark now because you guys keep bringing it up.
Oh God, I'm gonna feel
So-
bad if you do.
I do not recommend it,
Yeah.
but I will continue to talk about it.
So what is it? Stains the Sands red. Troy?
Oh gosh. Well, somebody had brought up. I guess that Zack Snyder zombie film takes place in Las Vegas. So as soon as someone mentioned that, it made me think of It Stains the Sands Red. It's this basic story of and it happens in medias res. You have no idea who the main character is. Female character who is not your typical heroine type character. She just wants to get somewhere safe or whatever. She's trying to get to an airport. A whole bunch of misadventures. Very funny, but very, very, very dark.
I haven't heard of it.
It sounds
I'm not-
familiar to me. I feel like I might have seen it.
I'm trying to think of the most obvious thing that would jog your memory, whether you saw it or not. I don't want to be too graphic about it. She comes up with It Stains the Sands Red is, a reference to blood, right? And the zombies are attracted to blood, kind of like, sharks in the water. So she has a very original and clever way to distract the zombies at one point in the movie.
Is it one point during the month?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Okay. All right. Jesse says Shaun of the Dead is great. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead's a good choice.
That is absolutely as far as humorous zombie films, Shaun of the Dead is the perfect film.
It's really good.
Well, me at the Winchester.
I mean, the Winchester until this whole thing blows over, right? I knew it. Wakanda Forever was a good story too. After rewatching all the MCU, I will say that they are kind of good before Endgame. Yeah, I mean that's I agree. I think they did just fine, and then they kind of muffed the ending, and then it went straight downhill from there.
I knew Endgame was going to be peak Marvel. After that, it was going to be downhill. Maybe some good ones here and there, but in general, it wasn't going to have the consistency of the decency that the previous Marvel films had.
And
it's happened. Yeah.
And I don't think enough of us talk about this. We tend to talk about, we saw the movie, this is what we thought of it, we give our opinions. I think there's a lot of things that go into making and breaking a movie beyond whether or not it was even a good movie. I think that marketing is killing a lot of otherwise better films. I mean, I can think of a bunch of them where I'm like, I finally got around to seeing that movie. It was actually pretty good. But the way they marketed it made me not interested in seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Thurlin says, Hawkeye is fun, but I have no desire to rewatch it. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's a one and done, but I enjoyed it as it was going.
Says She-Hulk gave me a migraine. Yeah.
I'm also really struggling with this concept of the over-bloated streaming series for that Marvel is doing. They're doing it with Star Wars. And so many people are saying, these 10 episodes would be so much better if they just trimmed it down to a 2-hour movie and released it in theaters.
Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett. Okay.
I liked Book of Boba Fett.
Obi-Wan, too.
There's Obi-Wan as well.
There's a fan edit out there of Obi-Wan that makes it 2 hours long.
Getting ready to say that.
And I saw it, and I'm like, okay, well, this is pretty good. And I'm thinking, okay, especially after I saw some of Ahsoka, I was like, okay, I see what they're talking about, these long pauses and expositions, and, you spend 3 minutes walking down a hallway, and it's like, you couldn't trim this up a little bit?
I will say yes. Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka could have probably been trimmed down to films, but I like the other ones. Andor, I thought was fantastic.
Andor's the one that I haven't seen, but it's the one that the most people are saying was really, really good.
I mean, Andy Serkis did not get an Emmy. Did he get an Emmy nod? He should have gotten an Emmy nod. He was marvelous.
He should have gotten awards for a long time now.
Oh, man, was he good in Andor.
It must be nice to be in a role where you can see his face.
Yeah.
I think the first time I remember seeing him was like it was like a British cop show, and he was playing like this kind of Ozzy Osbourne type rock star whose son gets kidnapped. I don't remember the name of the show. It was on TV. It was also, I think that was pretty much the first time I saw him, because I keep wanting to think he was in an episode of the British version of Touching Evil, but I think I'm wrong. I'm not positive that was him. But yeah, that's the first time I remember seeing.
I can remember the first time I knew who he was. When I saw him in his actual, appearance was King Kong, and of course he got got his head eaten. But
there's a certain meta element to that too.
Yeah, he's also in, which is weird. I think he's in what was that? 13, going on 30.
Yes. I was getting ready to throw that out there, but it's been so long since I've seen it, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, he's in that.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that just to see that.
Yeah, he plays the head of the magazine that she works for.
Huh? Because I remember liking that movie.
Yeah,
that was a fun film.
I did want to comment on something that Jesse Guajardo said. At least I thought it was Jesse. Yeah, Disney Plus exclusive Marvel is not canon. Marvel ends at Endgame. The thing that I wanted to comment specifically about is I have had a big struggle with this whole concept of these streaming services having, tie-ins to movies and having them be canon. And I think that any argument that anyone would have against what I'm getting at, I think is kind of thrown out the window by the Marvels. The Marvels was all about, if you did not see all of these different streaming shows on Disney Plus, you have zero clue what's going on with these characters, who they are, and what's going on in this movie. And it just makes it impossible. It just makes it impossible. You've hidden it behind a paywall. Not everybody that could possibly go see your movies is able to see your TV show. You can't consider it canon. Just saying.
I do want to acknowledge the chat here. Through the Lens had to leave us. I better go. I need to finish Saltburn.
You poor soul. You poor soul.
I've heard mixed things about Saltburn. There's one bit of business in particular that just makes me go, why?
It's more than one. There's more than one. There's at least 3 specific moments in there that were so disgusting and gross that I just became convinced that it was being thrown in there for shock value and then to just call it artsy. And I've sworn off this director now. I don't like her work. I didn't like the first movie of hers I saw, which was Promising Young Woman. And then I saw Saltburn, and it was just like, every one of those moments, you will know it when you see it because it just pushes the boundaries of nastiness, and there's just too much bodily fluid in there in certain scenes. And then there's a scene where it's like, please tell me this actor was wearing a sock when he performed this scene.
Gosh, I just read the synopsis in Wikipedia. I have zero interest in this movie.
It is disgusting. I didn't like it because I didn't like the characters too. So that was the problem. There was no one in there likable. By the time I watched Saltburn, I already knew what was at play because I'd seen it compared to another movie. So when certain reveals happened at the end, they didn't surprise me because I knew what was up. And so I go into the movie not liking anybody already. Rosamund Pike was kind of funny. Her performance, some of the lines that she said were funny, but definitely not enough to redeem that movie for me. It was so gross. It was so gross. Ugh.
I'm still trying to figure out if I like was it Barry Keoghan?
He's odd.
He's I can't. He vexes me.
That's a good way to put it. And I mentioned in my review for this movie that he's got a really he stands out because he acts like in pretty much everything I've seen him in, he acts like he doesn't know how to carry himself. He doesn't know what to do with his body.
He was in that film with
facial expressions.
Colin Farrell and
the
Killing of a Sacred Deer.
The Banshees of Inisherin.
The Banshees of Inisherin. Yeah,
he was also in Dunkirk, and he was in the Eternals, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in the Eternals. Yeah,
he did a movie before with Colin Farrell called The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which if I remember correctly, Yorgos Lanthimos directed. Which I had to tell you some things right there. And that movie was just...
Yorgos Lanthimos. Poor Things.
Yeah, Poor Things and The Favorite.
That's him. I knew that name sounded familiar. I have zero interest in Poor Things. None.
I saw that. I like. Well, it's a weird film.
Yeah.
I watch it and I go, it's a good film, it's a good performance, but I never want to watch it again. It's very...
But you see
It's
here,
odd. It's a very uncomfortable watch.
Yeah.
you see, this is the problem that I have. Is that I think Andre from Midnight's Edge is saying it best when he says they're making movies for people in their own zip code.
Yeah.
These movies do not have the rewatchability factor of a Top Gun Maverick or a Die Hard, or for Pete's sake, Betsy's Wedding. I would rather watch that again than most of this other stuff.
That's Molly Ringwald, right?
Molly Ringwald's in that, yeah. It's an Alan Alda film. But I'm saying is that we grew up on movies that we watched over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many movies that are made now that's like a one and done.
Well, especially artsy or, Oscar-worthy movies. So many of those I don't give a crap about, a lot of the ones that are nominated.
You hardly ever hear about the ones that are nominated. And of course, now with the Oscar, the Oscars now they have this new rule, this diversity rule.
Yes.
Come on, that's
is that stupid or what?
It's the dumbest thing, because you can have a great film, but if it doesn't have enough.
Well, Godzilla -1 would not qualify for.
There you go. Can't have it,
Yeah.
because there's no this or that or the other.
It reminds me of I was just thinking about that what you mentioned today when I was formulating in my mind my thoughts for. I want to do a review for The Promised Land, which is a Mads Mikkelsen movie coming out in February. I saw that about a month or so ago through a screener, and that was the movie. I don't know if you guys have seen. There's a video going around of him in a press conference or interviewee type of thing about the movie, and a reporter asks him. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but the gist was something like, what do you think about, or are you concerned about these new sort of, requirements that have been put into place for, a movie to be considered for contention at the Oscars because, diversity and stuff like that. And I feel like he misinterpreted the reporter's question. I feel like he thought the reporter was sort of coming at him in attack mode. And so he got a little testy with him. But I agree with because the point the reporter was trying to make, what do you think about the fact that your movie, which is called The Promised Land, takes place back in, 16 or 1700s in Sweden or Denmark, wherever he's from, and it's primarily white people are in it because back in the day that was the demographic. And so the guy was asking him, what do you think, does it worry you that your movie might not be in contention because it doesn't meet these requirements or whatever? And yeah, those requirements are retarded. I just don't see. I don't like this whole. It feels to me like such agenda-based nonsense, and there are some movies that you're going to say that you're going to exclude a movie that's probably completely fine in order to be, represented at the Oscars, but no, we can't do this because we have too many of X amount of race or what the hell ever. Yeah. It's just insane to me, and stuff is happening all the time.
I tell you though,
actually, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to say since you brought up Promised Land, the Academy released the short lists for a number of categories, and including foreign film, and Promised Land is on there. So
I think
they're going to
picture.
Relax.
Well, I feel like isn't it like Best Picture that this is something that applies to it? Is there a specific category that this diversity requirement is extended to, or is it the entire?
Well, Well, I tell you what, though, if I'll tell you a good way to gauge this. If Oppenheimer isn't there in Best Picture, then we'll know there was some shenanigans.
Okay, because it really feels to me like Oppenheimer's going to be there.
If
Yeah.
it's not, they're going to cancel out their.
And Maestro. Maestro, like, well, okay. Granted, I couldn't make it past the first 30 minutes of Maestro because I was bored out of my skull. But I'm pretty
I'm
sure.
so glad I'm not the only one. I tried starting to
Oh
watch
my god!
it.
I
and
tried
was
two
like,
sittings and I
I
couldn't.
can't.
I
can't
couldn't.
get
I was like,
through it.
I don't give a crap. I don't care. I don't care about him. I don't care about. I mean, the performances were
Ferrari,
fun. I don't
the
care.
same thing. I started watching Ferrari, and I'm like, I'm
Oh,
bored
see, I haven't
out
seen
of
that
my
yet,
skull.
and I feel the pressure like to watch it because I know it might be, but I'm not interested. I don't.
I just looked up the representation and inclusion standards.
Okay.
And the Oscars eligibility in the Best Picture category are designed to encourage blah 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 blah. Standard A: on-screen representation, themes, and narratives. Film can achieve the standard by meeting the criteria of at least one of the following areas: lead or significant supporting actor from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. And of course, one of those is Japanese, which means Godzilla could be
Yeah,
nominated
but
for Best Film.
I see. Okay, so it only counts if it's not pertaining to white people.
Yeah, at least one
Okay.
of the lead actors or significant supporting characters is from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group in a specific county, a specific country or territory of production.
They're not underrepresented in Japan.
This may include, and they of course list everybody but white people. General ensemble cast, at least 30% of all actors in secondary and more minor roles from at least two unrepresented groups, which may include women, racial or ethnic group, LGBTQ+, people with cognitive or physical disabilities, or who are deaf or hard of hearing.
Yes.
Main storyline subject matter. The theme or narrative of the film is centered on an underrepresented group of basically everybody I just talked about. Yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It really
Creative
is.
leadership and department heads. I mean, they're even going into like the crew.
Yes, they are. They are.
Crew composition. 30% of the crew is from at least two unrepresented groups: women, racial, LGBTQ, people with cognitive. Now, if you get like stupid. RuPaul, can you like knock off about 4 or 5 of those categories at one time?
Oh gosh!
I don't.
The Academy.
I don't want to leave Bill out because I know I'm sure there's a couple of. He's got a couple of movies in mind on it that's kind of on his hit list, so to speak. So, Bill, was there anything this year that you were that you had higher hopes for? That just was kind of like a one and done for you in the end?
Did we lose Bill?
He might have had to step away.
Oh,
He's had a long had a long streaming day. But that's okay. We can come back to him. But yeah, I mean, they're going to have to drop this. It's not going to work.
Oh, they'll try to make it work. They'll stick with it.
It's like trying, it's like trying to stick a round peg into a square hole. It's just, it's not going to wash.
I mean, you can have the greatest film in the world, but if you only have 29% of your crew, so where you're going to be like disqualified.
Yeah.
It's also ridiculous because it reduces people to qualities about themselves that aren't necessarily all that. They're superficial. It doesn't say anything about them, their qualification. Like, are they a good actor? Are they a good key grip or whatever? Are they a good cinematographer? oh no, we must look at this particular part of them first. And then it's the whole
I
thing
really
is
do.
stupid to me. I've
I
always thought
feel
was
like
dumb.
it has, this is at least in part arisen from a whole generation of participation trophies. There
Yes.
is no value anymore to achievement. Now it's everyone deserves whatever.
Prize. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's expected in the workplace. It's expected in everything now. And it's, look at the color of my skin, look at my gender, look at, what I believe, whatever it is. And it's like none of these things have anything to do with the job we hired you for. Mm-hmm. That does not make you good at anything. The color of your skin is good for nothing except protecting you or not from the sun. Congratulations.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
And hello, Melissa Harris. Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining
Merry
us.
Christmas. But, that is the world we live in, and I do think that the vast majority of people are understanding this. If you look at the box office for the entertainment industry, you see that the vast majority of people, they're not, on megaphones, they're not necessarily on YouTube channels, but they're making it very clear with their wallets. And the more you have people that do have megaphones blaming the audience, blaming people and telling them they're bad because they don't, whatever, the more they're pushing them away. It just is the absolute truth.
Yeah. Yeah. The tactic that a lot of studios and actors have taken now to just blatantly attack fans, if they don't, you remember when Viola Davis?
Yep.
Her nonsense, and I liked her, and then she started acting completely idiotic, basically blaming people who don't want to go see her movie of being racist. Well, maybe they don't want to see it because they recognize the nonsense that it was and how blatantly historically inaccurate it was.
Yeah, it was literal historic lies.
Oh yeah, then don't pretend it's based on a true story. Don't call it based on a true story.
Right.
Just present it as a fictional story. Okay, maybe more people would have gone to see it then. Maybe more people would have been interested. They would have just thought it was this cool action movie about this tribe of women warriors or whatever.
Right.
But they presented it as, oh, look at these great morally righteous people, and they were just as shitty as the other tribes that were behaving badly in Africa. Come on, let's not pretend. But no, they pretend, and then they brainwash a whole generation plus of people into believing this stuff who have no clue.
Sashi makes a great point. Says it's been a surreal experience being called racist for me. My name is obviously white to these people. If you dig into it,
not white.
I know, but if you dig into it, that is how it works. They will call anybody white that they feel is not as, in quotes, oppressed as they are.
Well, I recently watched the Gothics documentary. Mm-hmm. She's been called a white supremacist.
Yeah, of course.
It's just the shit that she went through. Sorry, I get...
No, that's fine.
I'm just in a mood, y'all.
We are post-watershed, let's be fair.
The crap that she went through because she dared to use her brain and to think logically and not jump on the bandwagon of emotional hysteria and depravity is absolute craziness to me. It makes me angry on her behalf all over again. Just watching it, I knew it was bad, but watching the documentary is oh my God. Oh, jeez. Anyway, she's a cool person. I like her a lot.
Yeah.
I was just looking at Aquaman 2's box office.
I haven't even looked at it yet.
4-day total. 4-day total 40, weekend 28 million.
Ooh.
Wow.
I heard it was going to be in the 40s.
That is way worse than I thought.
Yeah.
Really? I'd been hearing that's what it was going to be.
Sequel cost $205 million.
I heard it was going to be worse than the Marvels.
One
man.
thing that that I try not to make any assumptions or draw any conclusions from what I see on social media for obvious reasons. But what I've been hearing a lot on social media is people saying, I do not care how good or bad this movie is. I will not see it because,
Amber
you know,
Heard.
there's a certain person. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I didn't go see it.
Yeah. I don't blame
That's
anyone
the
for
main
that.
reason. I did not when she did not get her butt fired. I decided right then and there I was not going to go watch Aquaman 2, and I didn't care how good it was.
Sin, that directly underscores exactly my feeling. Simpatico here, because it wasn't just I don't like Amber Heard, I don't want to see anything she's in, I don't want to support anything she's in. It is also the fact that so many fans were so vocal about it, saying we will not go see this movie if she's in it, and they went ahead and did it. So it was like, okay, Warner Brothers.
Right? And wasn't it Warner Brothers that was doing the Fantastic Beasts?
Yep.
That fired Johnny Depp's
Exactly.
butt just based on her claims? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was just
So
crazy.
they should not be surprised that this is happening. Although I have to admit, I am a little bit. It is worse than I expected.
I'm actually
oh,
happy.
sure. I agree with you. I just did not expect it to be this bad. I knew it would be bad. I
Yeah.
did not know it would be this bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but I wonder, will they learn? I mean, eventually the money's going to talk to the point that they have to learn. But they haven't yet. I don't feel like they have completely learned yet.
I like this comment.
D is
Hello, D Movie Man.
D is amazing, you guys. Go sub to his channel if
Please,
you're-
yes.
I mean, he is such a wonderful movie reviewer, and he's been an absolutely amazing, awesome YouTube buddy. I really, really like this guy, and he's very funny, and his reviews are interesting. Like, I will watch his reviews of movies I have zero interest in watching myself, but I'll watch his reviews because I love his content so much. So yeah. and he's
Well, just subscribed. I definitely. I love that. Just for that comment alone, that earns a subscription for me.
He's so funny, and when he comes on a live stream and will ask questions of the audience members, his questions are always very deep and perceptive, and it's like doggone it, I can't think on the spot like that. Don't ask me these questions. I don't think I can rise. I can't rise to the occasion. Yeah, that's funny.
Jesse Guajardo, I hate to say this, but people are dumb. No, it's true. It is true. Most people are dumb. Well, what's that line from Men in Black? You know, the person may be smart, but humans as a whole are...
A person is smart, people are dumb, or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
People as a group, if the past few years haven't taught us,
That's for darn sure.
I don't know what will. But yeah,
Absolutely true.
it's scary. It's actually scary. It was scary to witness some of the stuff that happened. So
Yeah, I am hearing in all quarters, all areas of business, all areas of entertainment, all areas of politics, people talking about needing to get the adults back in the room.
oh
Yeah,
please,
you
goodness
think?
gracious, please,
You think?
please.
There's a lull in the conversation.
I was just thinking like, Merry Christmas, everybody.
I know. I'm just kind of stewing in my frustration.
It's tough. It has been a rough couple years. I mean, we kind of sometimes need to vent.
Well, that's part. Like, I was so happy. Well, this doesn't really tie into that frustration, but y'all, I was so happy when I saw Godzilla -1 because it
me
was
too.
it was such a solid movie, and I watched it the day after I had seen Two Duds the night before. At the movie theater, and then I watched Godzilla -1, and it was like it brought me right back to just good content, satisfying storytelling.
You know what Sashi just said there. I gotta ask. I don't know how many of y'all are Star Trek. Well, I know Jedi Bill, but I mean the rest of y'all. To what extent you guys are Star Trek fans? If you saw that last season of Picard, where they brought back all of the next gen crew and all that kind of stuff, they had a storyline that involved the Borg that, without getting too far into the weeds, made it seem very, very, very much like the writers over there were making a commentary about the woke takeover, collective takeover of everything. It seemed to be that commentary where, you know, the people that had the experience and the wisdom had to fight against this Borg collective that was taking over. Literally, people that were like under a certain age were being taken over by this strain of the Borg and everything. And a lot of people were like, that seems pretty on the nose.
Yeah.
Was it a new writing crew from the first season? Because I heard the first season was pretty wobbly.
This was this guy, Terry Metalis, took over in the third season, and he only acknowledged the first two seasons to the extent that he absolutely had to. But what he ended up doing with the story was bringing in all kinds of lore. Literally lore, but I meant figuratively. Yeah, see, you got the joke. Bringing in all the lore from, you know, the Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and Voyager. I mean, he touched on everything in a way that none of the other post-JJ writers have done. It made it very clear that he understood. And I'm telling you, and I've been saying this all along, the fans will forgive whatever, in quotes, woke you want to put into it, as long as it's a good story that honors the lore. You know?
Yeah,
and that seems to be what this guy did.
I enjoyed season 3 immensely. I thought it was fantastic.
But yeah, it did seem like the Borg were the woke child generation.
It was so good, it even made me appreciate the Enterprise D. And I was never the biggest fan of the D.
I'll tell you what, I like that.
That sounded so wrong.
I really like the
demonetized.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We killed this stream about an hour ago. The Kurtleth that Worf had. I'm thinking about having Geeky Anvil forge me one because I really like that sword. But then I'm just a Klingon geek.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
I so want to go to the Starfleet Museum and see all those ships.
And you can in Star Trek Online. That's the other thing. A lot of the things in Season 3 came directly from or was very closely inspired by Star Trek Online, especially a lot of the ship designs. So, again, kind of pulling the fans together. Imagine that. Imagine, trying to unify fandom.
The only thing I had an issue with, and it's a big issue, I did not like the fact that they renamed the Titan the Enterprise. Did not like that.
Yeah, that I could see as being a real problem for all the fans of the Titan book series.
Is the Titan.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it was Titan, it was a Titan A, but still. The Enterprise should have been a new ship. You can make it look exactly like that one, but
yeah,
you should not have renamed the Titan. The Titan was an honorable name in and of itself.
Yeah. And I've always been a big one on a lot of these ships. Sometimes there was a great deal of visual storytelling when a ship would come on screen and it's got some battle damage or whatever. And it's like, that ship has had its own adventures and stories off screen,
D Movie Man. If you want to, if you want to jump in, DM me on Twitter and I'll send you the link.
Yeah, Sasha agrees. Yep, Titan should not
I'm
have been
actually
named in the
surprised
Enterprise.
he's up, but not really because he's on break now. So
Oh,
he does pull later out, like because his the holiday break and everything is what I mean. So he's actually up. Sometimes when we're streaming and it's during the regular time of year, and he can't always stay on with me the whole we go until midnight. But he's up because he don't have to go to work tomorrow. Oh, that's because it's
Nice.
Christmas. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but we were talking about Godzilla.
Mhm.
I'll be interested to see how well it does when they release the black and white version. I think
There's
that's
a black and white one coming.
yeah. They're going to be putting it. They're going to be basically desaturating it or something, and just giving it that original 54 look.
I'm not a fan of black and white, y'all. So
I like
don't
black.
know.
I like black and white.
I don't generally.
Honestly, it depends how it's filmed. I mean, especially like modern stuff, and that's why I'm a little concerned about taking, -1 and desaturating it. I think about Tom Conkle's film "Trouble Is My Business." He filmed that with the intention that it was going to be black and white. And he gave thought to the colors he used because he wanted it to look good in black and white, but he knew he had to do a color version of it. And I don't think enough people think that through. They think, oh, just make it black and white, just desaturate it. And that doesn't always work that great.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see if it's something that they thought about. And,
Snyder said he filmed the Justice League in black and white initially. Which
That's
I found interesting.
weird.
Yeah, that was what he had to work with for the longest time.
That's just weird.
Isn't that interesting? I think that's quite interesting. I mean, that was the way I interpreted what he said, because he was talking about that was what he worked with for so long, and then of course it came out in color, but he wanted to honor the original work that had been done, so that's why he released the whatever he called that version that was black and white.
Okay.
Dark or something, Justice League Dark or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. Jesse Guarda saying, if I see the clips of the color version of the 54 Godzilla. No. How did I miss that?
Not me either. Yeah.
Because I love Big G. Got Big G sitting. I've got a small little Christmas tree on a bookcase, and I got Godzilla and Gamera protecting it, and Ultraman making sure that no hijinks happen.
Mm-hmm.
And hello to the RPH1 for joining us. Merry Christmas. Jesse says those clips are on YouTube. Okay.
I have to
We'll
look
have to check those out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I need to get the soundtrack. I have yet to get the Godzilla soundtrack. I have to get a Godzilla -1s because they keep the original themes in it.
Alrighty, Bill, are you back with us?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So, did you get a chance to see Godzilla -1 yet?
No.
No, haven't had a chance. Oh, okay. I see. All right. Well, let me see. Sashi says in chat, not black and white, but I love the dark theme in Dark City. Yeah, Dark City is an excellent movie. I'm a big fan of that one. Yeah,
That one's kind of a noodle scrambler.
it is.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way.
Yeah. There's a great point in the process with the color in black and white. I remember being surprised to learn about a certain red dress in the film, Jezebel being colored bronze because it read so well on camera. All right, cool. Let me see here. Which made me go crazy because I thought Toho had released a restored color version of the 54 film. I'm going to have to look this up because this is the first time I'm hearing of 54 being colorized in any way.
I think it'd be neat as a novelty, but Gojira, that's black and white in my book.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like It's a Wonderful Life. When they colorized that, it messed that movie up.
I agree.
Mr. Potter needs to be in black and white because he is eviler or more evil.
Eviler.
He's eviler. I like
He's eviler.
He's eviler in black and white than he is as kind of a more flesh-toned, realistic villain.
There was that whole period where they were colorizing. It was when Ted Turner got a hold of these films, and they did it to A Miracle on 34th Street, and it's like, really? No. Especially because it also didn't look very natural. You know, the color was just off, and it bled over the black, so it was like...
Now, I will say, a film like Miracle on 34th Street, you could get away with color.
Probably, because you got all the Christmas colors and stuff.
Yeah, but It's a Wonderful Life, though, there's just aspects of that just work in black and white. And
I agree.
To change it changes the film.
Yep, I agree. I do remember back in those days when it was becoming very en vogue. I remember a bunch of comedians making jokes about them colorizing Wizard of Oz. You know, the beginning and the end part, which of course would make zero sense because
right.
Ignorance is bliss.
Oh.
Yep.
For those who want to stay super blissful. But yeah, that would just be dumb.
You know, something else that I think would be very jarring to see colorized is any of the Universal monster films. You know, like Frankenstein, Dracula, and so forth.
They originally they tried it. There are some color tests out there.
There are a lot of lobby cards that have the colorizing of them. And so that's where you get the green skin of the Frankenstein monster and stuff. And it's like, no.
No.
You should just leave it black and white.
Yeah, it works. It just works better that way.
Didn't they re-release Werewolf by Night in color this year?
Did they?
Oh no!
I'd like to see that.
I had heard they were going to.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed that.
I heard good things about it. Yeah.
It was actually pretty decent. I liked it.
All right, so let's go around the horn here. Is there anything that coming up that anybody's looking forward to, or
movie-wise,
or well, anything, or anything that you might have some concern?
My green casserole tomorrow.
I got a ticket to see Night Swim when that comes out, so I'm hoping that's going to be fun.
That looks interesting.
Yeah,
it might be. Yeah.
I am absolute in 2024. Definitely looking forward to Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire and Dune 2.
Yeah.
I have heard some whispers about a Dune 3 already being okayed or lit or whatever. I don't even know if we got a title yet.
Hopefully they'll call it Dune Messiah, like it should be.
Yeah. I mean, unless they're thinking about how they want to break it up, maybe they won't go exactly that way. But you're right, they should. They shouldn't shy away from that title, but I could see the entertainment industry being a little concerned. Those are the two probably that I'm looking forward to the most.
Well, I over the last few days, I've been trying to catch up on the Jack Reacher series on Amazon,
Yeah, season 2.
and well, actually, I'm still in season 1, so
Oh, I was gonna ask if it
I
was
think
as
I'm up
good
to
as
episode
season
5.
1.
Um,
Oh, season 1
I've
was
been
good.
hearing. Well, my understanding is the ratings for season 2 are already 50% higher than season 1,
Wait,
and that I
wait,
know.
what?
Yeah, that the
I
ratings were like higher by like double. It was like double the ratings of last year.
Well, you know what? I never checked with the ratings. You mean like the critic scores or the audience scores? Is that what you mean, or do you mean the watch ratings, like how
I
many
think it was the
people?
watch ratings. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was confused. I thought you meant the critic, like the reviews of it, which surprised me because I thought it was already well received last time. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Not only that, but the real cool thing is the guy who plays Reacher, Alan Ritson. He was in an interview like a couple days ago. Said we're already shooting season 3.
It doesn't surprise me.
So I'm like, yeah, okay, give me more of this.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's a convincing Reacher to me. I've only
He
read or
is.
listened to one book, but I knew that Reacher is huge. He's a really big guy. And so
Yeah.
I knew that Tom Cruise was not an accurate representation of the
No,
character, but the movies were okay.
they were.
I'm
Yeah.
not super huge into the Reacher book series. One book was enough. It just felt, I don't know, it just didn't really grab me like so many other books. But I really, really liked that TV series. That first
Yeah.
season was super. I love the
I don't-
interaction between him and that detective guy. Oh my god,
Yeah, it's fun.
he
Yeah.
became my favorite
Um,
character.
I like Roscoe too, but I just dig the actress. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I liked her character as well.
yeah. She was on like this USA Network show that I think didn't get really treated very well and got canceled
What
and
was
ended
it?
in she was in a show called Dare Me
Oh, I
that was
hate
on the
cliffhanger endings.
USA Network. It was this cliffhanger ending.
I wish they wouldn't do that.
And I hate that.
Especially
I
because
don't
there's
like it when a show
not
does
always
that.
a guarantee that it's going to come back. So
No.
that's aggravating.
Yeah, I prefer these self-contained seasons like Reacher does, like Justified did, and Fargo for what I saw of it. But because the trouble with me and Fargo is I actually stopped watching it in the middle of a season and I never had a chance to go back to it.
What
So
season
it's
did
like
you stop it at?
it was the Ewan McGregor Mary Elizabeth Winstead season where he's the twins.
Is that okay? I'm
I think
only
it was
on
season 3.
Okay, I'm only on season 2 right now. That's a pretty solid series.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I've kind of told that story behind why I ended up kind of not completing that season, but it wasn't any. It wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't anything to do with the show itself.
Okay.
It's just that something that happened, kind of in personal life, and I just kind of
you and
stopped some
McGregor
things.
and the girl. Yeah.
No. They
I
weren't
heard
the
about that.
problem. They
Not
weren't the
them?
problem. No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
it wasn't a problem with the any of the actors of the show. It's just
Oh,
that
okay.
I'd had kind of like a personal, had a family,
Oh, I
situation
see.
I had to deal with, and I kind of just stopped. I stopped watching a lot of things, and I'd stopped watching Fargo, and I was actually. I was watching a show called Channel Zero.
I haven't heard of that.
That was on a Sci-Fi Channel, and I think that was like 3 or 4 seasons, and it was an anthology. It was an anthology show, and It was the season that had Rutger Hauer in it, Butcher's Block,
Ooh,
and
I never heard
I
of
did.
that.
I didn't see the finale of that season until months later. So I kind of had to go back to that, but yeah, there was a period of time there where I wasn't watching anything, wasn't watching movies, wasn't watching television, and wasn't for any particular reason. And Al knows this story because I think I brought it up before. It was either Al or Boomer that I was on with where I brought this up, and that was when and that was kind of back before the woke started to seep into everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I kind of had to play some catch up there for a bit. All right, let me jump back to the chat here real quick because I missed the first part of this here. D Movie Man says, I believe there was a point being made about -1 being in black and white. The film Trouble is My Business and what the process for color and actually entails.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what a black and white -1 would look like. I think it would look pretty good. I understand it's not for everybody, but hey, you still have the color version
That's true.
that everybody saw in theaters. So
I like having both
you
options.
can make the choice. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Both on the DVD release.
yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly what Sin said. Even if I don't like it, I have no problem with options existing.
This is
Oh,
our
I
new.
like your channel name, Keto Simple. I may have to go
Oh,
check out your
it's
channel.
Dustin here. Hello, Dustin.
Oh, is this
Good to
somebody
see
you
you.
know? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Cool,
a
cool.
keto. I'm a keto eater as well, so I honed right in on his name.
There you go.
Oh, right on. Well, then you would love his channel.
In reference to what Jesse was saying, yes, I think that the Vinny Villeneuve Dune, at least the first film so far, has been an excellent interpretation of the books. Are they more in line? It depends on what you're asking.
A little gender swap.
Yeah.
One minor
I've
gender
heard
swap that they did
that.
for us because they had to hit their quotas or whatever. But I still feel it's a minor enough role that I don't have a huge issue with it.
Yeah, it didn't bother me. Yeah.
I still remember someone busted on me because I only gave it 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
Out of what is your scale? 5?
5.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, that's right. You
it
did
was
have
good.
someone in the comments that got really like.
Yeah, I'm like, well, first of all, 3.5 is good.
Yeah.
Really good. But I'm like, they ended it at the wrong spot.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And
They should have ended it when he took the name Muad'Dib.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I do feel that. I mean, but let's be honest. I am just thankful that they are breaking it up into 2 films.
Yeah.
This is the first time they've done that, and I think they absolutely should. I do also feel that there were some scenes that didn't happen that I would have liked to have seen in the first movie, but it's not like those scenes happened in the David Lynch film either.
I like the sci-fi version. I don't know.
Yeah, the sci-fi version is excellent, but I think the visuals here are much better.
Oh, well, sure.
Yeah, bigger budget and all that kind of stuff, so sure. But yes, I think the simple answer is yes. I think they're doing a better job of interpreting the book than any previous version. This could, in theory, be our definitive film version. But I would encourage everybody, get out there and read that book. Don't read ahead if you are enjoying the movies. Let them make the movies and then read the book. But yeah, this is definitely one you should do that with.
Alrighty. Well, we've reached that time, folks. I think it's about time to wrap up the show because it's been a long day for a lot of people, and I think some of us would like to go and get some
Open up
rest.
presents? Oh, yeah, we could do that
Presents,
too. Yeah, sure.
Hit ourselves over the head with the hammer, and D-Movie Man says, real quick, because I do remember this. So I remember there being an alternate black and white cut of The Mist. Yeah.
Interesting.
I still need to watch it. It was, in contrast, the crazy '88 scene in Kill Bill still works so well in black and white. There's also an option to watch in color.
Oh.
Yeah, the longer well, it's not like a longer version. It's just the movie simply edited together. There's a version called the whole Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair, where it's the whole 4-hour long thing. And from what I understand in that, it's not as much of the black and white in that version.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Dustin says probably at least an hour or more before we can sleep putting things together for our granddaughter. Yeah. All right. Oh, and also Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. Thank you for joining us.
Yep.
All right, we are about to wrap it up, I'm afraid. I want to remind everybody that we were simulcasting on Sin's channel and also on Al's, so please give them a thumbs up, show them some love, say hello in the comments, hit the like, share out the streams. If you are new to all of our channels, please subscribe. We need more subscribers. We like subscribers. We subscribe to our channels, please. I'm sorry. I'm okay.
It is encouraging. I mean,
yeah, it is. Okay.
Thank you, D, for joining us. It was great to see you here. Just a little surprising to see you up so late.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Great. Same
All
to you
right.
as well.
So let's go around the horn and plug the channels. Sin, what do you have coming up?
Tomorrow I'm going to try to get up a repurposed video of collab discussion / review that I did with Sound Booth Theater on the Black Christmas movie, the 1974. So I've been doing that, like Christmas themed things from collabs I've done with Sound Booth. I've taken those and edited them down to where just the parts we're talking about the movie. And started with Violent Night, then Krampus, and then today it was, oh shoot, what was it today? Oh my gosh, I've drawn a blank. Something today.
Silent Night, Deadly Night?
No,
You go to horror.
it was one of the Christmas things. Oh my gosh. I know what it was. It was Hogfather. And then then Black Christmas tomorrow. So that's what's coming up. And then hopefully my review for the Gothics documentary. And I've been filming some other reviews trying to catch up on that because there have been a lot of different things I've watched to do reviews for.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right. Al.
Well, I just put out a couple of reviews today for the Iron Claw and Rebel Moon. Nothing in the pipeline as far as got to see what I watch next to see what I eventually do a review on. But I do have a rewatch coming up next Saturday. Going to be watching the classic Operation Petticoat with Cary Grant and Tony Curtis to end the year out. That'll be a lot of fun. Of course, I got a lot of rewatches already planned. I'm already halfway through March. And July I've got planned out. So got those rewatches all ready to go. And we'll see what the world may bring and what I may stream. You never know. And we were talking about things we were looking forward to. 1 year from, well, technically today, Nosferatu comes out. Just good to see them.
Nice.
See how they do that.
Yes, and Dustin is right. Please feel free to drop your channel links in the chat. All right, Try Nutter.
would I be stepping on your toes if I brought up that we're going to be on your channel on Tuesday, talking about the second half of Laura Palmer's Secret Diary on live from Sparkwood and 21, which will get us in line to carry on with the second season of Twin Peaks after that. So that's Tuesday. For some people, that's tomorrow. Unless you count it as, after you slept, then it's in 2 days. Thursday, over on Netter's Network, Thursday Things.
It's going to be me and Troy. We might do a rewatch of something.
Yeah, we ran into a hiccup because I found that not only did I not have the Peanuts New Year's episode or special or whatever you want to call it, it's never been released on DVD, and it is not streaming anywhere except behind the Apple paywall. So we may have to rethink what we're going to do, but we will do something on Thursday, Netter's Network Thursday Things. Which brings us to Friday, last call on my channel, where I will be doing my my year-end wrap it up for the year stream, and of course we will drink and enjoy each other's company. So that is the week for me and Netter.
All right. Bill, are you still with us? Some audio issues backstage.
Somewhat. Somewhat. Here. What were you saying?
So what do you have coming out?
Nothing that I ain't been doing already.
Fair enough.
So the karaoke, yes, Bill, karaoke on Wednesday, Saturday, and on occasion on Friday. There's also Action Theater, which is Thursday afternoons at 3 p.m. And also West Presents, which is also every Sunday, also at 3 p.m.
Yeah,
All right. So, right. Well, hello?
Yep.
Yo, yeah.
You can see. And as this is the last episode, Other Side of Midnight, for this year. Next week will, of course, be the big New Year's Bash. I also host a show called Unscripted, which is every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Next week's episode is going to be my year in review wrap-up. I also do film reviews, so stay tuned for those. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close out the show. I would like to thank Troy and Netter, Al, Sin, and Bill for joining us. Everybody in the chat, it was good to see you all.
Yes.
All right. From HQ, good night, take care, stay strong, because this is how we win. Good night.
Merry Christmas.
Same.
Merry Christmas.